I want to dedicate this story to my mentor and former boxing coach, Ray Rinaldi. Shortly after the Korean War, a Korean woman had an affair with an American soldier. She became pregnant, and the soldier went back to the United States, and she never saw him again. She gave birth to a little girl, and this little girl didn't look like the other Korean children. She had curly hair, and her big brown eyes were shaped like her father's. This little girl was ruthlessly taunted by people. They called her one of the ugliest words in the Korean language, a word that meant alien devil. It didn't take long for this little girl to draw conclusions about herself based on the way other people treated her. Her mother tried to raise this little girl the best she could. For 7 years, she tried and tried until she couldn't handle the rejection from society anymore. It just became too much for her to bear. She did something most parents couldn't imagine doing. She abandoned her little girl to the streets. For 2 years, she lived as a beggar, a scavenger, until finally she made her way to an orphanage where she found some sort of refuge. One day, word came that a couple from America was coming to adopt a child from the orphanage. All the children got excited because they knew at least one child was going to have a family. One child was going to have hope. One child, just one child. So this little girl spent the entire day cleaning up the other children, giving them baths, combing their hair, and wondering which one would be adopted by the American couple. When the couple arrived, she recalls that she watched this man spend time with every child. It seemed like he loved everyone like they were his own. I saw tears running down his face, and I knew if he could, he would have taken every one of us home with him. He saw me out of the corner of his eye. I was 9 years old, but I didn't look like I was 9. I was scrawny, I had worms in my body and lice falling out of my hair. I had sores all over me. I was not a pretty sight. The man came over to me and said something in English. I didn't understand it. I looked up at him, he took his hand, he laid it on my face. What was he saying? I later found out he was saying, I want this child. This is the one I want to take home. Ray Rinaldi says the same thing about every young person that steps foot in his West Area Athletic and Education Center in Syracuse, New York. He gives them a place to feel accepted, a place they can call home. He said this about me when I was a troubled 16-year-old. I want to help this kid. He taught me discipline, respect, perseverance, faith, and most of all, helping others. I became a boxing champion. My life was forever changed. Now I'm doing my best to help as many kids as possible. I receive hundreds of letters each week from students on how their lives have been changed because of my presentation at schools, churches, and corporations. I received a letter last week from a young lady at a high school I recently spoke at. She said, Mark, the day you came to our school was the day I was planning to take my life. After hearing your presentation, I want to live. She thanked me for saving her life. I realized this would have never been possible if it wasn't for a man that was there for me. Someone who believed in me. Someone that gave me hope. Someone that gives all of us hope. I love you, Ray.